And joining us now for our regular Friday night chat is economics correspondent Stephen Long. Well, Stephen, surprisingly good growth numbers out of Europe.
Well, 1% for the quarter, which is positive. But when you look at it, Tiki, it's nearly all come from Germany, a powerhouse growth figure, the biggest growth that it's recorded since the reunification, 2.2% in the quarter.
Where's that growth come from?
Well, that has come primarily from exports, and really it's a function of the euro crashing in value, the debauched currency improving the competitiveness of Germany's exports, plus a delayed fiscal stimulus. They had a very harsh winter. A lot of building projects couldn't start. They have now. It's really boosted Germany's growth. But let's head south and look what's happening. You've just got 0.2% growth in Spain. You've got Greece still a basket case. You've got relatively weak growth in Italy. And so you have this mismatch. The growth is actually highlighting the structural imbalance in Europe. And then you've got to wonder whether it can be sustained.
Well, can it, in your view?
Well, I don't think it can. The fiscal austerity measures that are being imposed on various European countries in return for bailouts are just about to kick in. They will undercut growth. And so I don't think that this can be sustained. And then you've got to really wonder, when you look at what is happening in the United States, whether we're headed for a situation where you actually have a very anemic growth trajectory. And there is actually a worry about deflation that's emerging.
Actual deflation happening? What, across the United States and Europe?
There are many, many people who think, and this fits with the dynamics of when you've had a parabolic credit bubble that we've had and it bursts, deflation is quite likely. You've only got 1% inflation in the United States at the moment. You've got very weak inflation in Europe. You've got growth tanking, very worrying signs with the takeoff in growth in the United States that appeared to be happening now falling back, and that the US Federal Reserve said that much this week. Now, you've got to wonder whether the West will end up in the period that Japan was in, to an extent still is in, after its big crash and the undoing of its housing bubble, when it had a lost decade of growth and deflation. Serious problem, because that means that people are less likely to spend money. If prices are falling, then people hold off on spending and it becomes a vicious cycle. This is a serious concern for the West right now.
Dr. Doom. Stephen Long, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
You're very welcome.